Yo, hi, hey, what's up? So, remember that idea that I posted about 3 weeks ago saying that I was going to dual com with people? So, I read your comments and all that. I got three people who told me to do something with the person I'm doing right now. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my dual com guest, AnkleBreaker1023.
What is up, viewers and subscribers of InertFury? My name is Eric. My YouTube name is AnkleBreaker1023, and I'd like to thank Rich for this great opportunity to narrate this battle with him. And basically about my channel, I've been uploading for a couple of months, and my favorite tier is UU, so I do a lot of UU matches on my channel. But I'm also looking to expand my channel to other things. So if you want to see some good Wi-Fi battles and some good UU matches, definitely check me out.
Alright, so, like he said, because his favorite tier is UU, I asked him what kind of match he wanted, and of course he said UU. So, I went and made a new UU team because I haven't actually had a favorable, fair uh, UU match since the recent tier changes, which are not the ones that came out today, the ones that came out previously, where like you got shot up to OU. So I've got Scarf Darmanitan, Wall Gligar, Wall Umbreon, Wall Hitmontop, Subsplit Rotom, and then a Rain Dance Kingdra. Looking at his team, so long as I can like weaken everything, I'm hoping that my best bet is going to be able to pull off a Kingdra sweep. Zapdos probably looks offensive. Blastoise and Bronzong to be walls, and everything else looks to be pretty hard hitters. Eric?
I saw on his team, when I saw that King Joe, I just had a gut feeling that it was probably more likely than not a special attacker. I don't know why, because physical attacking King Joe is very common, but special attacking has been raising in more commonness as of recently. And also, I knew seeing that Rotom, I've seen a lot of sub pain splitting Rotoms, and I knew that nothing on my team would really appreciate him setting up a sub and then being able to just go for Thunderbolt. And my team consists of just Life Orb Zapdos, physical defensive Blastoise, special defensive Bronzong, actually a Flame Orb, Guts Heracross, Scarf Darmanitan, and a little bit of a bulky sub SD Rhyperior.
Alright, so let's just go ahead and just jump right on into the match after the team previews. So I'm going to choose to lead off with my choice Scarf Darmanitan because it's my fastest Pokemon and I figure I can get myself in a nice position as opposed to anything that he wants to lead with. He does lead with Zapdos. I'm just going to go for a U-turn, fearing he's really not going to want to stay in here and take the Stone Edge as he does go out into Blastoise. Now, I'm going to take this time to go into my Rotom, try and hopefully get up a free substitute as he goes for a Toxic right here.
Here, I was basically predicting him to. I didn't want to take a Stone Edge or a Rock Slide. I didn't know if he'd be carrying it. I didn't want to over predict on the first turn and go for the U-turn. And now, then wait for him to see if he would go for the U-turn. So I decided to do the safe switch into my physically defensive wall. And I see Rotom. I knew it'd probably be sub split, so I just didn't. I couldn't have it use substitute. Had to go for the roar and get that thing out of here as fast as possible. And that's what ended up working out for me very well. And here he ended up missing Draco, which was actually kind of unfortunate for him.
Yeah, well, in the long run, I mean, it wasn't really, like, that too much unfortunate because I am able to, as you'll see, get some good chunk of damage off on his incoming Bronzong that will come in. So, the Draco Miss actually kind of benefited me, like, right here in this scenario. So, back to the Blastoise and him roaring me out. I'm figuring that since he has Roar, he probably doesn't have Toxic. Let's see, I think he scalded. Yeah, he scalded on my Kingdra. And I went for Draco and missed, and he's going to go out into he went out to Bronzong, and then I just went for a Dragon Pulse. And I'm able to get a nice chunk of damage off on the Bronzong with my Hydro Pump. It does have Toxic, that's not a big deal because my Umbreon packs Heal Bell. And yeah, I figure right now he's going to get a Stealth Rock, so I mean, might as well switch out to Umbreon and just go ahead and Heal Bell off.
I figured there with the Kingdra with my Bronzong, I figured going for Toxic would be very beneficial for me. Just in case he wanted to stay in, which I know he would want to do for a lot, because his Kingdra does wreck my team. That definitely getting the residual damage, even if he does happen to use the Heal Bell, just getting the residual damage is very good for me. And also being able to get a safe switch into my Heracross as he goes for the Heal Bell was also very beneficial for me. So I can also get my Flame Orb at the same time, threading this thing out, definitely, because both of my stabs are obviously going to kill Umbreon very easily because it's the Heracross.
Yeah, so right here, I'm kind of, I guess, thankful that he's not like a banded Heracross or possibly like a sub Heracross, because I know that you really don't want to carry sub on like a gut set that has like Toxic or Flame Orb. So right here, I really don't want to stay in here and possibly, like I said, let him get up like a free substitute if he like randomly decided to have it, which I kind of figured would be a little bit weird. So I'm going to go to my Gligar. He makes a very, very good double switch, went over into his Zapdos. Again, I'm not entirely sure what his Zapdos set was. I thought he honestly went for Toxic right there, and I was like, oh, okay, I was immune to Toxic, but Japanese text kind of threw me over, and he went for Volt Switch right there. And he then kills me up with an HP Ice, which I was hoping he kind of wasn't having, but then again, yeah, it was kind of obvious.
Yeah, the point I switched in Zapdos, that was kind of an obvious switch, but also when he stayed in as I went for Volt Switch, that was actually, I did overpredict, and since he said that he didn't know I had Volt Switch, I probably shouldn't have gone for HP Ice, but since he thought it was Toxic, it ended up working out. And here I knew he would, hey, I have to spring at something else, and I decided to go for Volt Switch, and just get out of there as he brings in the Rotom, and just go into something that will threaten out the Rotom after he switches that in.
Right, so, I mean, I figure that I've lost the surprise factor with Rotom, but then again, I was pointing to him, it wasn't a big surprise because we kind of figured that Rotom would be sub-split. So I decided to try and pull a double switch because I figured his Zapdos really wouldn't want to try and stay in here against an Umbreon, and it could Wish Protect stall it. So I just double over Rotom, he does Volt Switch, goes up to Darmanitan, Flare Blitz is my Rotom, that goes down. In comes my Hitmontop after that to intimidate him. I'm just going to use this time to get off a free Toxic on hopefully either his Blastoise or Zapdos. I do catch the Zapdos. The Blastoise. Wow, sorry. And at this point, I need to go ahead and get rid of Rocks because I really don't want Rocks up. And then I'm going to just try and whittle this Blastoise down a little bit.
Yeah, the Toxic really wasn't good for me and my Blastoise at all. When I saw the Rotom, I knew I definitely wanted to kill it as fast as possible. And here, I went for Ice Beam. I'm pretty sure I was predicting Kingdra to come in to take the Scald and get a free setup turn to hit me with Draco. So I know Draco would kill Blastoise from this range. And I went for Ice Beam, knowing that it would be I'm pretty sure it's either it's only one-time resisted or it's neutral on Kingdra. I really don't remember. That's why I decided to go for Ice Beam here, but he actually just ended up Rapid Spinning. And here I decided to Rapid Spin on my own because I do have my Darmanitan and my Zapdos that are not going to appreciate those rocks being on the field.
Right, so him Rapid Spinning there allows me to get off a close combat, which does a hefty chunk of damage. And right here, I know that he might want to preserve his Blastoise for later death fodder. So right here, I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction and go for Toxic again, hoping again to catch his Zapdos, which might come in and threaten me with its special attacks, especially because I'm getting special defense drops from my close combats. So I do catch him on the switch, which is really, really crucial. It's going to help me wither this thing down quite a bit.
And back to the Zapdos switch, I was very heavily debating to go into Heracross or Zapdos. I was thinking he would go for close combat again. I knew they both resisted, and I was thinking, because I have the Flame Orb, that I don't want to really let my Heracross take the extra close combat damage. And I was thinking I could still threaten it out, and it's a big threat. But then I decided to go into Zapdos. Ends up biting me right in the ass. Would have went to Heracross. Toxic would have done nothing because I already am poisoned. I wouldn't be able to threaten him out, and I just end up Volt Switching on the incoming Umbreon now. And if I would have brought in Heracross, it would have been really beneficial. But that was kind of a tough prediction to make, and I ended up making the wrong one. But it happens,
Yeah, some of those crazy like 50-50 predictions, like, oh, should I do this, should I do this, can really come back to bite you in the butt. I know exactly what you're talking about there. So, right here, I know that pretty much I can just safely go for a Protect, get an extra 12% of damage from his Flame Orb, go into my Hitmontop, Intimidate it. Hopefully I can I know it can take one close combat after an Intimidate, then try and fire off a Sucker Punch, and pretty much just whittle down Heracross a little bit by a little bit, and that's my strategy.
I knew what he would bring in. I knew he would bring him on top, but I was actually debating putting Switch Dance on this Heracross set so I can predict him on top switches and get back to +1 instead of nothing. And I knew he probably would have some form of priority, being either the Mach Punch or the Sucker Punch. But I knew that since it's resisted, it wouldn't be doing too much. And I knew it too. Even after Intimidate, I know I too would KO. Hitmontop at almost full HP, so I knew I could definitely just safely go for close combat and kill that thing off. And it ends up working out, and it's going to help me later because I can get rocks up without worrying about him having to be able to spin them away, which is really nice for me.
Right, so right here, I mean, I figure he's not really going to want to stay in here. I mean, even though U-turn is resisted, he's still at -2. That's going to do a very, very hefty chunk to his Heracross. So I'm just going to U-turn out on his switch over into his Rhyperior. I'm going to go back over into Kingdra, and right here, I was really debating upon whether I should set up the Rain Dance or not. I mean, I figured that, I don't know, I was trying to hide Rain Dance as long as possible, so I was like, nah, I'd rather just get damage on stuff. So I just decide to go straight for a Hydro Pump. It hits the incoming Bronzong. It does a crap load of damage, and then I am going to be able to, after this next turn, knock him out with a Dragon Pulse from the range of health that he's at.
Yeah, I was thinking that my Rhyperior would definitely be kind of helpful in this match to break down the Umbreon more than it can be if something like happens. Because Heracross has really low range of HP. I know Superpower from Darmanitan doesn't just kill. So I knew that I had to sack Bronzong because Rhyperior would be more helpful in the long run. I knew that there was no way in hell I'd live any hit that Kingdra had to go for. So here I just sacked my Bronzong, and now I'm going to go into my Zapdos, knowing I outspeed, knowing Volt Switch would do a really hefty chunk. Now I don't happen to pack the T-Bolt on the Zapdos, but so I just go for the Volt Switch, and I end up scoring a crit, which is going to kill off this Darmanitan, which obviously wouldn't have killed with the crit, and that crit ends up actually biting me in the ass, as you're going to see later.
Yeah, so the fact that he critted my Darmanitan, which I was initially, again, upset about, actually winds up benefiting me very, very, very heftily. So right now, I'm going to go into Umbreon. I have a plan. I need to get a Protect off, try and get to as high amount of HP as I possibly can, and pretty much my strategy right now is just to try and live a Superpower, and then try and pass a Wish off to Kingdra. So ironically, my leftover recovery is 24, and I lived on 24 HP, which I found actually to be quite hilarious.
I didn't even realize that.
So I am able to get the Wish off, and like I said, right now, even if he does decide to stay in here in Superpower, Kingdra is at enough hit points to where I can pretty much safely live one, because I think damage after -1 is like 92 to 114, and Kingdra is at 139, I believe. Double check that. Pop up? Yeah, 139. So I'm pretty much able to get all the way back up to full HP, and right here I pretty much just have to go for Rain Dance and have to try and sweep. It's now or never, pretty much, for me.
When I saw him go for Wish, at first I was thinking, okay, he's definitely 100% going to go for Protect. He's not going to go into Kingdra. Then all of a sudden, once I switched in Rhyperior, I was just like, I made a very fatal mistake. Then I realized, oh wait, he's going to go into Kingdra. Decides to go into Kingdra. Now here, I knew he was Life Orb. I thought he would just be Hydro Pump, Dragon Pulse, maybe HP Electric, Draco Meteor, or whatever. But since I saw Rain Dance, I was like, I looked at my DS screen and I was in complete shock. I was like, this isn't good. He's got like 5,200 brain. I don't think I only have 4 pokes left, and it's going to come down to maybe him missing a Hydro Pump, him missing a Draco, and me hitting him with something that will be able to kill him. And I'm just basically right now picking pokes I have to sacrifice. I'm thinking who's going to be the least important. It's going to be Blastoise. Now who's going to be the next least important? It's going to be Rhyperior. Who's going to be the next least important? And that was basically my thought process of who to sack at what time and when. So basically, so I can have the best chance possible I can of killing this Kingdra as soon as possible.
Right, so I mean, I'm sitting over here, I'm trying to run damage calcs, trying to make sure, because I didn't really want to risk Hydro Pump missing on Zapdos, and like I said, I went and ran a damage calc, min damage was like 51%, which was like pretty darn close to right where he was at. So, like I said, I'm pretty much just at this point, he's just sacrificing stuff, trying to pick off, not pick off, trying to stall out my rain. And I pretty much know that he's pretty much, like, right at this point, he has to leave in his Scarf Darmanitan. And at this point, my heart sinks because my reign ends. And this is where stuff got so intense. What I should have done here to be perfectly safe was to go sacrifice Umbreon and then bring Kingdra back in. I made too big of a risk, but I live with 16 HP. I hit the Draco, and that's the game.
When I did that, I looked at damage calcs and see that I did have a chance of killing that thing. I went for Superpower knowing his Umbreon was at really low range of HP, so if I end up killing it, a -1 Superpower would be able to kill off the Umbreon, but he lives on 16, and he's going to die to his Life Orb, and it's going to be a 1-0 in favor of Rich, and that was just... I was on the edge of my seat the whole match. At one point, it seemed like I was no-brainer, had that match, and the next minute, after that one Rain Dance, I was like sitting there saying, oh shit, this isn't going to end up well at all.
Yeah, like I said, that was my whole strategy, is just try and set up a Rain Dance with Kingdra late game, and then just dominate. So, yeah, this was a hell of a way to kick off this little dual comm series I'm doing. So guys, thank you for watching. I really and truly do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, definitely go check this guy out. I mean, I didn't just pick him for nothing. The guy has good quality uploads. So definitely go check him out. Definitely worth a look-see. Closing thoughts, Eric.
I just wanted to say thank you guys for actually watching this dual commentary if you were. It was definitely a really, really, really good match and a great way to start off what he's actually doing with this dual commentary stuff. I'd like to thank Rich for picking me out of everybody else because, just thank you and for that. And hopefully you guys get into the series. And if you like me, please leave a like on this video and check out my channel. And I'd definitely love to battle Rich another time. And hopefully you guys just enjoyed today's dual commentary installment on Rich's channel.
Yeah, so like you said, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care.
See you guys.